This is from a handout I gave while speaking in a training for staff who work for people with developmental disabilities. It is about what it means to be dehumanized, and it applies to a far broader group of people than the original audience. It is to make this clear about something that is done to us by other people, not something intrinsic to who we are. Being an unperson means that people talk in front of you as if you aren't there. If they know you understand them, it means you're not enough of a person for it to matter. It means listening to staff gossip, saying things they would not dare say in front of real people. It means hearing their bluntest viewpoints about you out loud, to your face, with the person behind that face unacknowledged. It means hearing confidential information about other unpersons. Being an unperson means that your life is not a real life. It means being treated worse than most people would treat their own pet gerbil, and with less guilt. It means that your existence seems to fill people with disgust and fear. People see and describe you as a hollow shell, a body without a soul, a shambling child, or a vegetable. Or else they romanticize your life, calling you a special angel on earth. Whatever they call you, people refuse to see that you exist at all. Being an unperson means being considered non-communicative. If you somehow, once in a blue moon, manage to communicate in speech, those words will be seen in pathological terms rather than communicative ones. If you communicate in writing, people will question your authorship. If you communicate with behavior, you will be punished, restrained, drugged, or put on a behavior program. No matter how clever and intricate a communication system you devise, you will be described as incapable of true communication. Being an unperson means having all the true communication drummed out of you. It means having your behavior and words, if you have them, molded to fit what other people want or expect of you. It means having this molding placed on you like a straitjacket. It means screaming and screaming inside your head that you are a real person, but nothing gets out. On the rare occasion that something does get out, an action that is from your desires rather than your training, an oral or written statement that you really are a real person and feel trapped, you will be punished, ridiculed, or ignored. Being an unperson means being treated like a child, which should really make people think about how they view children, or at best like a beloved pet. It means that if you do something real, important, and meaningful to you, people will think it's cute. They have a special laugh reserved for that. It means being spoken to in a voice people normally use on children. Being an unperson means being brutalized. An unperson can't tell about beatings, rape, torture, and murder. If she does, she will not be believed. An unperson knows that the law will never come to his aid, not the way it does for real people. If he dies, here, today, at the hands of another, it will not be considered murder. Being an unperson means being expendable and interchangeable with all the other unpersons of the world. An unperson means living up to low expectations. It means being punished or shamed for showing emotion, awareness of your environment, or originality of thought. It means that once you no longer show these things outwardly, except maybe to a few other unpersons who know what you're doing, people take one look at your most superficial appearance and declare you even more of an unperson. Being an unperson means being hated. Not always in an overt emotional way. It means people want you to be a real person. Which sounds good, until you realize they don't believe you are a person already. They want to shape you into someone else, or else use you like a blank projector screen for their fantasies. Sometimes they tell you they want to reel you back, as if you're not there. Being an unperson means that your existence as who you are is denied at the deepest level by those around you. And that, being erased, is the true nature of hate. Rage is nothing in comparison to erasure. Being an unperson means that if you must hurl your abilities, everything you have learned over the years, and attempt to advocate for yourself in any possible way you know how, you will be labeled manipulative, attention-seeking, or a bad or difficult client. You learn that people like to work with the good clients. The ones who have been so twisted by being treated as unpersons that they are completely passive and compliant. You realize from memory of being like that no person on the planet should ever be twisted that far. But when you tried to stand up for yourself, to break out of terrified submission, then you are labeled aggressive and hostile and treated accordingly. Being an unperson means that you are not allowed to want what anyone else would want in your situation. Being an unperson means being at the mercy of the theories other people have about you. It means having communication given to you one day, maybe the first day in your life, and then taken away the next when this is considered a fad or a hoax or just too bothersome to the staff's routine. It means being thrown in big nasty institutions when that is considered protective, then broken away from your friends and sent to littler but just as nasty institutions when that is considered progressive, and then isolated from everyone in your own apartment when that is considered radical, no matter what your desires ever were in the whole matter. It means being tortured and killed as a demonic changeling, displayed as a circus freak, used medically as a lab animal, and tortured and killed in the name of treatment or medicine or protection, with the changing of time and culture. Staff people always say they are not like this. Last time I told a staff person about how other staff abused me, she laughed and told me the other staff at that place didn't abuse people. Within hours, I watched her and other staff laugh while they made another inmate beg like a dog for a glass of water and a change of socks. People need to show they are not like this, not say it, if we are to believe them. I have been an unperson. Now I'm sometimes an unperson and sometimes a real person, depending on who is around me. The difference between an unperson and a real person is not a difference of what is called degree or kind of impairment or disability. There is no line you can draw and correctly say that on this side of the line lay the real people, and on the other side you only have the unpersons. There is no such thing as a true unperson. An unperson is a ghost, a prejudice in people's minds. Those of us considered unpersons by others are aware of this prejudice when it is planted in us. In the end, there are only real people, and the ghost of the unperson is projected on top of some of us.